here with today's December daily video. So today is December 20th and we're almost near the end of the month, and I'm wondering, are you feeling uninspired by your supplies? Are you feeling like, oh my goodness, I just want to give this project up? Do you need a little inspiration? So I thought it would be fun today to show you 4 different ways to find inspiration around your house, so that if you are feeling like your supplies aren't inspiring you anymore, you could have some new supplies without spending a ton of money, and you could feel inspired again. So I'm going to show you 4 different ways or things that you could try to have some new supplies and to re-inspire yourself. So the first one I want to give you is, you probably have a bunch of these laying around. They're cards, whether they're filled in and have people's writing in them or not, or whether they're just extras that you have left over from sending out your Christmas cards and you just have blank ones left over and you are like, should I save these? What should I do with them? And you want some inspiration. So one of the really fun things you can do with old cards, ones that have been written in that you don't want or you don't want to collect or keep anymore, or even cards that you have left over from your Christmas cards that you're not using anymore, is you can turn these into Project Life cards that will work really well in your December daily. So I want to show you how to do that, and then I've got some other ideas for you too. So in this pile here, I have 2 cards that were left over from my mom's Christmas cards. They're blank, so they haven't been used yet, but she didn't want them anymore because next year she'll give out a different card. And then I have a few cards that were sent and left over and have writing in them, and I don't necessarily want to keep them. I also have a handmade card that I made, and to be honest, I love this card so much that I actually don't want to give it away. So I wanted to find a way that I could still use this card even though I didn't want to give it away anymore. But I really love it. So I've got one of those, and then I have 2 envelopes. They don't have cards in them, they're just the envelopes. This one has some hand stamping on it, and then this one is just from, I have a lot of Chinese friends, it's just like a red envelope that usually money comes in. And I don't need the envelope anymore, and there's no money in there, so what can I do with that? So one of the things you can do, which is really fun, is you can use these envelopes, leftover cards, extra cards, and turn them into Project Life cards. So I'll show you these. If you want, you can pull out a 4x6 card and a 3x4 card to help you decide how you're going to cut them down. But it's not necessary. I mean, if you've been doing Project Life or scrapbooking for a while, you're pretty good probably with these sizes. Otherwise, you can pull them out to use as an example. So I could use this, I could cut this card down and make it into a 4x6 card and cover up about that portion. It doesn't fit the other way, but I could make 2 3x4 cards out of this as well. And thankfully I have 2 of these, so I'm probably going to do a little bit of both. So the first thing you want to do is take the card and open it up. And you want to cut down the fold of the card. Now, because there's a fold there, it actually makes it really easy to rip, so I'm just going to do that. And you can keep both sides because there might be usable things in there. You're going to need your paper trimmer, and I like this one by Fiskars. It's my favorite paper trimmer. And you want to decide how you're going to cut it. So are you going to cut it into a 4x6 horizontal card, or are you going to cut it into 3x4s? And I think for this one I'm going to cut it into 3x4s. But the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to cut it in half. So I need to know the size of the card. So this card is a little longer than some cards. It is, the length is about 6.5. So I'm going to cut it into 3.5 for now. And then I'll decide how I'm going to cut it. So now that I have this card, I can cut it into a 3x4 card. And I want that part there, so what I'm going to do to start is I'm going to cut it into the 3. Take off a little bit up there. And the width of the card is 4 1/4. I'm going to leave a little bit of the red on there. And you basically just cut the card down to make a 3x4 card. Now some cards are obviously going to work better than others for this technique. But I mean, just go with your heart. So you can even use the other side, and there I have a card. Sometimes it's better to plan it beforehand to decide where you're going to cut, and if you want, what you can do is you can actually use your template as a guide. And we'll just cut, and I know I want it 3x4, cut, and there we go. Got a really cute 3x4 card, and the other side has writing on it, so I wouldn't use that side, but I would definitely use this side. And you can use either side too. You don't have to feel like you're stuck to just using the one side or the one part of the card or anything like that. Just go with whatever looks good to you. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to keep on cutting and making more cards, more 3x4 cards, and I will be back in a few minutes to show you what I have made. And probably what I'll do is I'll just speed you guys up so that you don't have to watch all of this. Okay, so that didn't take long at all. I cut up all the cards into 3x4 cards or 4x6 cards. Now obviously there's some cards that work better than others, like this card actually looks really cute as 3x4s and those are perfect, but this card, it was hard because the sizing didn't work perfectly, but that's okay. I still like these and I still think I could use them even though the size isn't great, and I like the colors, and some of them, like the backs will work, like those ones. So if I wanted something, not that one, if I wanted something like solid, I could go with one of the backs of these. This card worked really well because there was nothing on either side of that, so that one was cute. And then for the envelopes, I really liked the way that they turned out. I ended up not cutting off the background, I ended up keeping it solid because I thought I could use this, like, this card, which I've cut down into a 3x4 and rounded the corners of, as a little like extra journaling place or hidden journaling. So you could put something on the outside and then you could do some hidden journaling on the inside and on the back and then just stick it in and it wouldn't take that much space. And on this one I thought maybe if you had something you wanted to tuck in the back, like some extra journaling cards or photos, you could totally do that. And it has my name on the front of the card, but you could totally cover that up with something. It just super cute. And for this one, I ended up just cutting it down so it was 4x6, so it was 4, but it's shorter than 6. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm actually going to just use it to cut, and glue it on top of this white card. And that way, I can still use the card whole, which I love that I made, but it still fits the 4x6 spot. And just like that, glued it down. And I think it looks like a super cute card. So while it looks like a card, it looks like a really nice 3x4 card. It's already embellished. It's got some embossing on it, and I love it. So that's the first idea for today, is to cut down used or extra cards into 3x4 cards or 4x6 cards so that you have some extra cards to play with. Another thing that you could do is you can use some of the other supplies that you have around, and I know you'll have some of this stuff. You may have some extra wrapping paper for wrapping your presents, extra pieces that are cut off, that are still looking nice, but it's too small to wrap anything with. So I've got a bunch of different ones here, just extra pieces that came off the roll that there's not enough to actually wrap a present with, but the wrapping paper is still there and I don't want to use it up. So if you don't have cards laying around, you could also use extra wrapping paper that you have laying around. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut all of these down into 3x4 and 4x6 cards, and I'll be back in a few minutes. Okay, so I cut up a bunch of those to make some 4x6 and 3x4 size pieces. And the one thing to know about wrapping paper is it is quite thin. Like, even if you have good quality wrapping paper, which this is fairly good quality wrapping paper, it's still very thin. So it does want to curl a little bit. But what I would suggest doing is, if you're going to put this in one of your pockets as a 3x4 card, my suggestion would be to take another 3x4 card, one that's a little thicker, and actually like glue it onto the bag, and then round the corners if you're going to do that, and then you've got a perfectly sized 3x4 card, and it'll keep it flat and straight. So I just love these because they're something a little different, and it's a great way to recycle some of your supplies. And sometimes wrapping paper is so cute. Like, I love this wrapping paper and this red wrapping paper and even this gold stuff. So I feel like, why not use some of those things that we really love and that are really cute in our December dailies? So that's the second tip I've shown you. I've already showed you how to make 3x4 and 4x6 cards out of old cards. Now I've showed you how to make them out of wrapping paper. I want to show you another way that you can make them as well, and that's from old present bags. So I have this present bag, and it's a nice big one, but it actually has some rips in the side. So I can't use it anymore, but it's still really cute and it has some really cute elements on it. And so I thought it would be fun to use this bag as a 3x4 card. So I don't know about you, do you have any bags that are ripped along the side, or that you just saw and you love them and you wish that you could keep them somehow? Well, now you can. So the first thing you'll want to do is, using some scissors, you'll want to cut along the sides of the bag. And if it's already ripped, it makes it a little easier, but... And it doesn't have to be perfect, because there's no way you're going to be using this whole entire piece anyways, because, I mean, I'm making 3x4 cards. They don't need to be that big. Now, you could potentially use both sides of the bag, but I don't really think it's necessary to use both sides, so I think I'm just going to use this side. And now what I'm going to do is decide which areas of the bag that I want to make 3x4 cards out of, or 4x6 cards. So let's see. Just grab one of these as a sample so you can see the space. So this is the size of a 4x6, so you could get most of this bird in there as a 4x6. You could get most of the snowman's face. You could get the heart. You could get some of this holly part down here, and you could also get some of the red if you like that color. So I'm gonna cut it down and use it like this. Now this is something that I've seen somebody do on YouTube, but I saw somebody create a 3x4 card, include the ribbon, and it actually looked like a sort of cool element in their December Daily because it looks like a present. So you could definitely do that. All you would do is include the ribbon in your cutting piece, so just cut it like that. Now I'm not going to do that because I think it'll be sort of clunky, but it would be really cute if you wanted it to look like a present still. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to, I know that I don't want to use this piece up here, so I'm actually going to just cut that off because it gets in the way a little bit. And now using my trimmer, I can trim off the pieces that I want in order to make my 3x4 card. Okay, well there you have it. I made some 3x4 and 4x6 cards out of that bag. And I think they're really cute because that bag was super cute. It worked well. These ones are a little bent, but I think it is okay because once you stick it in the book, it'll help flatten it. If you're worried about the bending, you could also like glue it down to the 3x4 card or the 4x6 card that's on the other side, and that will help to straighten it out. And even though this one you can't really see what it is anymore, I still think it's a really pretty pattern and could be cute for something, so I kept that one. And my favorite one of all is this one with the hands holding the heart. I just think it's so cute. So even though you don't know it's a snowman holding the heart, you can see that these little mittens are holding it, and it's super cute. So that was the third idea for to give you some extra supplies or inspiration. And the last one is to use some napkins. And this may sound a little crazy, but there are so many pretty napkins out there at this time of the year, and I just really wanted to find a way to incorporate them into my December Daily. So like this one's actually from Thanksgiving, but I just love it so much. It has gold foil on it, and it says thankful. And then this one is just a red poinsettia. And the thing is, it definitely is going to be softer and not as sturdy as a regular Project Life card, but that's okay because you can just glue it onto the back, like I said, and they're such pretty designs that I think they would look so pretty in your December Daily. So I hope this works. I'm not sure what it's going to be like to cut through this napkin, so I'm just going to give it a try before I show you. So it doesn't look like it's going to cut really easily. So my suggestion is to glue this onto something more sturdy and then cut it out. So let's grab a Project Life card. So this one, for example. And I'm just going to glue this Thankful down on there. Now it comes off a little bit, so I might need a 4x6 card. Then it's going to overlap a little bit. Okay, that's fine with me. So I have this white piece of cardstock already cut down into 3x4. Sometimes I just cut those down for projects and I don't actually end up using them, so I'll just use this one. And instead of using my hot glue gun like I normally would, I think I'll just use some score tape because I think the hot glue gun will not work really well with the napkin. Anyways, I really hope you guys are enjoying this December Daily series. It's been a lot of work putting it together, but it's been so much fun. And I really appreciate all of you, and I thought, what's a way that I could show you guys how much I appreciate all my subscribers? And I thought the best way I could do that would be to make lots of videos, because that's one way to show you that I appreciate you, is by continuing to create content for free that's inspiring and hopefully that you enjoy. So hopefully I can continue doing that for a long time. So I'm just going to lay the napkin down, and for this you probably want to use a clean napkin. However, it's up to you. You could use a non-clean one. And I'm just going to lay the card down, starting on one side and then pulling over to the other side, keeping it nice and flat and nice and straight. So the napkin goes on there really well, just like that. And then using some scissors rather than my cutting device. I can never think of the word of that thing. Trimmer. It's probably easier to just use my scissors for this one. Just trim it down. Like so. And there you go. You got this really cute 4x6 card that has this like soft element on top. And you can definitely still round the corners if that's your fancy. The 3x4 card on the back, the 4x6 card on the back really keeps it sturdy. And then it's ready to go in your album just like that. So I hope that gave you some inspiration for today. If it's pulling up a little bit or if the plies are pulling apart, just add another piece of score tape under there just to help it be very sticky. And the truth is that when you stick it in your album, it'll stay down really well too. There we go. Okay, so that's one, and I have this other napkin too, which I thought it would be fun to make 2 napkin 4x6 cards. So I'm just gonna grab another piece. So this is just some scrap paper that I had been playing with. And because this napkin's so big, you could make a couple cards. I'm only going to make one, but feel free to go with whatever feels right to you. And if the napkin has plies to it, like it's 2-plied or whatever, you might want to like carefully peel the plies apart. But it's really up to you. Again, this is your project, so go with whatever works with you. And if you go over to somebody's house and they have really pretty napkins, ask if you can have one and stick it in your pocket. They're going to think you're crazy, but your December Daily will look prettier for it. And that's what it's all about, right? Creating a beautiful December Daily, regardless of how crazy people think you are. So again, just add some score tape. It's good to go. I hope this gave you some fun ideas and maybe gave you something new you could try this year. I really like recycling things and finding new ways to use the supplies or the items I already have around. Like, I already have napkins and wrapping paper and I'm feeling uninspired. So if I pull out my napkins and wrapping paper and used Christmas cards, which were already going to go into the garbage, then I can find a new way to use them, put them in my album, and I'll be able to keep them. Now, the one question I'm probably going to get, and I honestly do not know the answer, so I'll just say maybe you can Google it. I do not know if napkins, I don't know. I don't know / I don't think they are archivally safe. Like, I don't know if napkins and Christmas cards and wrapping paper are archivally safe. I really don't know. And for me personally, I don't care about things like that. But if you do care, Google it. Or maybe keep the things that are not archivally safe away from your photos. I don't know. I know that doesn't really give you an answer, but sorry. I mean, it doesn't bother me, so, but if it bothers you, then Google it or look for archivally safe wrapping paper or Christmas cards, or look for non-biodegradable tissue. I really don't even know what the solution is. But there we go. Easy peasy. So there we go. I've made a whole bunch of 3x4 and 4x6 cards today from things that I just had laying around my house. I have those ones from napkins. I have these ones from packaging or from a bag. I have a whole bunch from tissue paper. I have some from envelopes here. And then I have a whole bunch that have come from just Christmas cards that I had hanging around. Well, that's it for me today. I hope I've given you some inspiration, some ideas, maybe something to try. And I hope you have a lovely December daily. And I hope that I'll see you tomorrow. So just a reminder, there will be a new December daily video posted on my channel tomorrow. If you want to check it out, go ahead and subscribe. And you can find the subscribe button down there or over there. And leave a comment. Let me know what you think. Have you ever made Project Life cards out of cards or wrapping paper or napkins or any of those things? Do you think you'll try this? Do you think I'm crazy? I don't know. Okay, bye guys. Have a lovely day.